Hello, good evening, everybody. This is Monica. I am calling in to see who is on already. So I see a couple of you have signed on to the webinar. Thank you for joining us. If you can hear me, I just want to make sure that I'm getting through. If you can hear me, if you could raise your hand, and there's a little button that you can do that with, should be towards your right hand side. There you go. I see everybody. Yay! Thank you. Good evening. If for some reason I'm not coming through or it's not loud enough, please just send me a little comment there and I can try to figure that out. But otherwise, we're going to wait about 2 minutes and we'll get everybody on board so that we can officially get started. So just bear with me for a minute. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So thank you all for joining us tonight. We have our August OWL session scheduled tonight, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And again, my name is Monica Hasso. Let me switch slides here. There we go. So thank you for owling with us. My information is down here. Most of you I know already, but if not, feel free and reach out to me at any time. So if some of us are coming on board to the call, you should have a box that looks like this here on your screen on the right side. So that's just what will appear on your screen throughout the webinar. And it should tell you, it should have these buttons here where you can raise your hand, you can ask questions. It's also a little section where you can ask any questions. So one of the great things about doing a session like this every month on a different topic is that you all get to ask questions as well. And it's all done live. We are recording it all. So then once we're done, we'll be able to put it on our website and anybody can reference it at any time. So I'm excited. So this month's OWL topic for August is back to troop, because of course this is the time of year where kids are going back to school and troops are starting up. Now, just a quick question. If you guys would use the chat option on your board there and let me know, if just type in a yes or a no, if your troop met over the summer. I'm just kind of curious to see. So how many of your troops met over the summer? Whether that's one meeting a month or one meeting a week. I'm just kind of curious. So if you guys would let me know, make sure that that's coming through okay. You can just enter it in the chat. Okay, so I see one comment. All right. Anybody else? Did anybody meet during the summer? If you'll let me know that, please. Okay, so it looks like some did, some didn't. So we do encourage that troops meet over the summer. It's a great way of keeping. I just got a comment from Miss Erin. Yes, you're doing it right. That's the chat section, so it came through. So you're good. So we encourage that troops meet over the summer. We understand that some don't. That's completely up to you all, the troop, the leaders, and the girls and parents. But we do encourage that troops get together over the summer, just a way of keeping them engaged. And what some troops will do is simply get together and do maybe the fun activities. So the outdoors, the hiking, or crafting, just to keep the girls together so that they're you have them in contact and are prepared to start the year. So let's move forward then with our session tonight on Back to Troop. Now, a lot of this is going to be a refresher for some of you if you have already been in Girl Scouts and done many years. But what we'll cover today is up here. So we tried to come up with top 5. There are a lot of things that we as troop leaders do to get started for the year. Some of them we don't even think about because we're so used to them. Some of us are brand new, so we're learning how to best tackle that. So we tried to come up with a list. So these are the top 5 things that we're going to cover today so that we can keep it short, simple, and give you all plenty of time to ask any questions that you have. So we'll go through each one of these 5 throughout the session. The first one has to do with Girl Scout registrations. Number 2 is about fall product. Number 3 is planning for your year and your team. Number 4 is the important parent meeting. And then number 5, of course, is listen to the girls, which should always be something that we do. So by the end of today's or tonight's session, we hope that you will be a little or have a little better of an idea on how to start your Girl Scout year off well. If you've already began your year, don't worry. It's okay because all of this that we're going to go over is important all the time. So, for example, if your troop already started meeting, but you haven't done the parent meeting, there's never a bad time to do or schedule one. So it's okay. So this should all help out. Let's go on to the next slide. We're going to start with number 1. Actually, before number 1, I wanted to remind us all of our Girl Scout year. So it's a little interesting to me because we have a Girl Scout year that officially begins October 1st through September 30th. It's been like that forever. It's like that every year. However, I know a lot of us, including me, have been preparing to start our Girl Scout year as soon as a school ended this last year. So that is probably, for my example, is June. So June, July, August is when we gear up for this next Girl Scout year to start. A lot of you that are listening to me are preparing to start your Girl Scout year now. That's why you're on the webinar now, not wait until October 1st. And that's great. That's great to hear. But I wanted to remind us that officially the Girl Scout year starts October 1st to September 30th. And that's why you may see some of our flyers and events kind of refer to that. All right. So moving along, we're going to talk about eBiz a little bit. So the first number 1 on our list on how to get your Girl Scout year started off well is to, of course, make sure that we are all registered. We cannot do Girl Scouting without being registered. So we can't start all the fun without being officially registered as Girl Scout members. So make sure that your troop is registered. That includes girls and adults. Definitely. So your girls that are in your troop that are returning and your volunteers that are coming back to help you. There is a couple ways to make sure that that's done. The easiest way is to do it through our online system, which we call eBiz. That's our online Girl Scout membership registration database. So you can register as a new member or renew your annual membership. You can update your account, including contact information and address. You could manage your troop online. So if you're a registered troop leader, which we call that an O.W.L, that's just the code that's given in the system, you can manage your troop online. You can also manage your family online if you're a family manager. You can pull troop rosters at any time as the leader. Leaders can also email all of your troops' parents at one time using the troop management section of eBiz. You can print out membership cards. So all of that you can do through our eBiz system. And it's an example of it here that you can see. This is actually pretty standard. It gets you into the council eBiz system. So Please, please, please make sure that your troop is registered before you start your Girl Scout year. There is also a help desk. So if for some reason you get on this system or your parents get on and you're having any type of problem, whether that's technical problems or you enter in the username and password, you're sure that it's the right one, but it's not working, please contact our help desk. We have people there to help you that are experts at this. You can email or you can call them. And so that information is on our website. I should have put it here, but the number, I'll put it on the PowerPoint before I save it and record it, but it's 1-800-895-7385. That's 1-800-895-7385, or you can email helpdesk@gsdsw.org. So we, of course, want everyone to register online. It makes it much easier for us, makes it much easier for the troop leaders because you get all that information soon. The other way to register, of course, is what we've always had, which is the paper registration. So somebody could go online, print out the paper registration, fill that in, submit it with payment. So Girl Scout registration for the year, as we all know, is $15, and that covers a girl or a volunteer from October 1st through September 29th of the following year. So registration is really important. There are two big pushes that we do to help people register early so that we are not scrambling to get all of that done once October 1st starts and we have all of these other things that we know that we want to do and the girls want to get started on. So the first one is early bird, and then the last one is on time. So I'm going to talk about each of those really briefly, but let me get to some questions. I see some questions coming through. Let's see, what do I do if I keep having trouble getting my lifetime membership changed over from another council? That's a great question. So there is such a thing as a lifetime membership. So you could get that anytime. What we see a lot of are girls that were Girl Scouts, and before they turned 18 or in their last year of Girl Scouting, they became lifetime members. So either the troop or parents or that girl paid to have a lifetime membership. So we have a lifetime members out there. Unfortunately, they tend to get a little lost in the system because they're on a different list. So I am sorry about that. If you're having trouble getting your lifetime membership changed over from another council, you would call that same help desk number that I gave. I'll repeat it here in a minute. The help desk are the people that are really, really good at our database, and they also are a registrar. So they are the ones that contact other councils in case they need to get anybody transferred over. So they're the ones that would help you. The number again for help desk is 1-800-895-7385, or you can email helpdesk@gsdsw.org, and I promise you they'll get you straightened out. Another question we have is, I've made contact with someone to help me, but if I do not get anywhere, who can help me? So if you're referring to help desk and no one's able to help you, then feel free and email me and I can follow up. And my information was on the previous slide. Here it is. So at the bottom, that's my info. That's my email address. So if for any reason, any reason at all, anytime, you're not getting help for whatever reason, feel free and reach out to me and I'll do what I can to help. Absolutely. All right. So thank you all for your questions. Keep them coming. So the first on our list is registrations. That's what we're talking about. There is something that we do every year called early bird registration. Now that has already passed. We are done with early bird registration now, but I thought it would be important to note it anyway so that you are prepared for next year in case you did not know about it already. So early bird registration, remember we said our Girl Scout year officially starts October 1st, but we want to get girls registered and volunteers to think about their next year, register, and then go off and have fun in the summer, but we know that they intend and will be coming back for another great Girl Scout year. So we do this early bird registration push. We usually roll it out about April timeframe, and it goes all the way through June sometime. This year was June 23rd. And as an incentive to get as many girls and volunteers early birded, we have a cute patch that the girls can receive. And there's also a limited edition GSDSW t-shirt that can be ordered. So it's not free, but it's at a cost price. So all of that you receive if you early bird by June 23rd. So we always want to push for that. So if you guys have any questions on that, feel free and let me know. So I do have a question coming through. I did early bird registration. Is it too late to get their early bird patch? So if you did the early bird registration, you should receive the patch. Now, I would refer you to your membership manager so that they can confirm that for you. But if you did register during the early bird season, you should automatically receive the early bird patch. Now, remember, bear with this, we're a huge council. So for example, I just went to Carlsbad today. I'm calling in from El Paso right now. We did a 2.5-hour drive to Carlsbad and back today, and we delivered a lot of early bird patches and t-shirts. So our delivery system is something that we're always tweaking, but I hope that answers your question. If not, feel free and email me. Okay, so early bird registration is that. Now, if any of you have heard of Honor Troop, it's a distinction that's earned by a troop by doing or fulfilling a series of requirements, some mandatory, others that are supplemental or additional. So I just want to note it here in the webinar that one of the requirements to earn Honor Troop for the year is that you have your troop early bird, because that sets your year off well. You guys can go off, enjoy your summer, and then rest assured that you have the girls and volunteers returning for that following Girl Scout year. If you want more information on Honor Troop, it's on our website, or feel free and reach out to me. All right, so let's move along. The other push that we do for registration is what we're currently in right now. That's on-time registration. Don't you love the little birds? They're so cute. So on-time registration is going on right now for our council. So what that means is that if you register for the next Girl Scout, if you are already a Girl Scout member now, and you register for the following year by September 1st, it says here, then you're considered on-time registered. So it's not too late, even though you missed the early bird deadline. So we have a different patch available, which is this right here for the girls, and that shows that they registered on time. It's also important to make sure you have everybody registered so that fall product, so that you can participate in fall product, because that does start right away, and I'll be talking about that a little more briefly in just a minute. Also, there's a couple of other bullet points having to do with fall product and on-time registration. But this flyer here, we've posted on our volunteers Facebook group, if you're a member of that. If not, I encourage you, if you Facebook, to join. It's GSDSW volunteers. So I just reposted it today because I know the deadline's coming up pretty quickly. So that's on-time registration. So I do have a question that came through. Will new members get the on-time patch if they register before September 1st? That's a really good question. So we have been getting that question. So the question is, if I am a new member, do I get the on-time patch if I register before September 1st? And I will need to confirm that with you or with our membership department. But last I heard, the answer was no, because you're not currently registered. So these are incentives to encourage re-registration so that we know who's coming back. So if you have questions on that, feel free and give me a call. All right, so that's early bird and on-time registration. It has to do with early bird. I'm sorry, with registration overall as Girl Scouts. That's the step number one, and making sure that your troop has an awesome year for 2016-2017. The next bullet point, or number two, is fall product. So I know that everything seems to happen in a mad dash when school starts. I know fall product is another one of those things. It happens so quickly. We're kind of rushing, but please, please be aware of it. You don't want your troop to miss out. It's a great opportunity. So it's easy to participate, super easy. It's great practice for the girls and the leaders to participate in fall product program before the big program, which is the cookie selling that begins in January. So it's a great way for the girls to get a little practice, get their feet wet. The fall product program is more of a friends and family program, so that it's more low key, it's more word of mouth, but it's easier to participate. It's simple. Troops earn money to begin the year. So that's another incentive for your troop to be registered on time and to participate in fall product, because your troop will receive some money to begin the year. And usually when school starts, troops want to get out there and do activities and pay for events. So you want to definitely make sure that your troop participates in fall product. The reason I also put this on here tonight is because we're currently, I know our product sales department is doing what they call their world tour of training for fall product. So there's also a lot of resources available for fall product. So on our website, if you go under girls, there is a whole section on fall product program. It's kind of hard to see, but I wanted to put it all in here. So in here, though, if you go to the website, you have all the dates for the trainings. A lot of them have passed already. We're in August 17th, so a lot of them have passed, but if it has and you didn't get a chance to attend, please contact your membership manager. They are the ones that can direct you to who to talk to. It's never too late to participate. It's a great experience for the girls. We don't want them to miss out. There's also going to be some webinars that are offered that are just like this, but all about training on how your troop can participate in fall product. Fall product, girls get to sell chocolates, nuts, and magazines, in case you didn't know. There's also a lot of resources under this section here. So you have a lot of forms like goal sheets for girls, and you even have some videos. I thought these were cute, and some PowerPoints. So a lot of resources available on fall product. In case you didn't guess, the mascot is the koala. So if you have any questions on fall product or how your troop can participate, feel free and let me know now. Otherwise, I will keep going. But we hope to see all of you participate. Okay, so let me move on to number 3. So the third tip for troops to start off your Girl Scout year well is to plan your year and your team. So we know that our Girl Scout motto is to be prepared. We want to make sure that we do that as much as possible. So there is a calendar that you can set up. So we during new leader training, where we train new leaders, stress the importance of a calendar. Now, I know that setting up the whole year is a little daunting, but take it a couple months at a time. But you definitely want to have some type of plan of what your year will look like. The more detailed, the better, but you're going to have to get input from a lot of different people. So we recommend that you sync your calendar with the school calendar. So all the schools usually put out this calendar, sometimes even 2 years forward, with parent-teacher conferences, holidays, all of that. So make sure that's on your Girl Scout calendar. And then sync it with your family calendar, right? If your families have vacation at the same time or have something special planned, or sync it with your work calendars. If you know that you're going to be going away for work these dates, or completely, absolutely not available this week because of work, then put that on the calendar. So do all of that before you put your Girl Scout days in there. Make sure to be flexible, because that's just your draft. So before you get that finalized, you're going to want to bring it to your girls. It's all about the girls. So you want to get their input on it. So be flexible with that. Make sure that you recruit for adults that will help the girls and you. So we're going to talk about how to make sure that you get the help that you need for the girls. It is their troop, so we're here to help them. So this is number 3, plan your year and your team. It really makes a difference, trust me, if you have some type of plan on what the year is going to look like. When you do your school and your family, your work calendars, and then you start putting in the dates of your troop meetings, for example, and your fall product selling or program, cookie program dates, service unit meetings, when you start putting all of that in there, you'll see that it'll start to fill up. Be flexible, have some space to move that around, but it's important to do that. Don't forget to include Girl Scout special days, so like Julia Gordon Lowe's birthday, things like that. On the next slide, I have a sample Girl Scout troop year. So this is just a sample, but it gives you an idea of the types of things that are usually included in a Girl Scout year. So it's kind of hard to read here. This is one of the pages that we offer for new leaders in the new leader training. So some of you, it may look familiar to you, but it breaks it by month, starting from August. And it gives you an idea of things that usually troops will do. So for example, the cookie program is in here, holding a parent meeting, which we'll talk about later, incorporate a journey, attending service unit meetings. All of that is in here for you to reference. So if you want a copy of this or have any questions, definitely feel free and reach out to me. But it's also in the new leader guide that new leaders receive. And if you go online, you'll see a lot of different, edits of this, but it's the same core items. You even have some outdoor trips included in here. All right, so that's just a sample. The next slide is ways adults can help, because apart from planning for your year, it's really important to make sure you plan to have the help that you need. So a troop belongs to the girls, but they definitely need help from the volunteers, and it's not just the leader, it's more than that. So you need help so that you can devote your time to the leadership of the girls. So it's hard to do that if you're also writing all the receipts and taking all the snacks and turning in all the paperwork. So or taking all the pictures. So as much help as you can get to do those types of things from other volunteers or parents, then the more time you have to devote to what it is you're here to do, right? And let's work with the girls and see them grow. So this is another page that's in the new leader guide that we offer, and it just gives you ideas of things that you can have other adults help you. So like photographer is one, someone to keep track of all of the awards or the badges that a girl receives, somebody that's willing to take the training. So here's examples, but of course there's a lot more of these available that we could think of if we put our mind to it. So the whole point is to make sure you get adults that can help you with the troop for this year. I do have a question on first aid training. So I'm not sure where you're located, but if you're referring to El Paso, we do have some first aid trainings that will be offered. We're working on our training calendar as we speak. So I've proposed a date, I believe October and then early December or January. We usually offer one every quarter, so every 3 months. So we will have those, definitely. Just please bear with me, but thank you for asking. That was a question on scheduling of trainings. Okay, so moving along. Number 4 in how to start a successful Girl Scout year is your parent meeting. I cannot stress to you how important it is to have a parent meeting. Before I get into that, I did have another question on first aid training. So let me back up. So as a council, first aid training for volunteers is required if you're taking your girls outside of your troop meeting. So we have really tried to make it easy and convenient, which is why we do not require that your troop have a first aider for your meetings. But once your troop goes outside of your meetings, field trip, day trip, camping, anywhere outside of your meetings, then we do require that you have at least one volunteer certified in first aid and CPR, which is what we call a first aider. Okay, those are the ones that I was saying we're scheduling for the El Paso area, one every quarter. I did have another question. Does first aid need to be done through Girl Scouts? And that's a great question. And the answer is no, absolutely not. We offer first aid certification training through council as a courtesy for those volunteers that may not have access to get it otherwise, or have called the American Red Cross and realized that it's super cost inhibitive. So we offer it as a courtesy, but you do not have to get it through us. If you have another contact, another way of getting that certification that's more affordable or that you would prefer to do, please do so. The only restriction we have are those set by GSUSA. And GSUSA requires that it be a certification through the American Red Cross, so that would work, or American Heart Association. Those are the two big ones. There's some others, but you please make sure before you get your certification outside of our council, provided outside of our council, that you make sure you're taking one that would qualify. And that information is in our Volunteer Essentials book. You can email me and I can give you the exact page number, or you can pull it up on our website and then just search for first aid, and it'll give you a little paragraph of where that certification is, where you want to get it from. So great questions. Great questions. Let me know if you have any others. So moving along, let's get back to the webinar. Number 4 is parent meeting. I cannot stress to you all enough how important it is to have a parent meeting. I really cannot. It sets the tone for your year. So I stress this a lot when we train new leaders. Your parents, for example, don't know what the troop is, what its function is, what its goal is, what is expected of them, unless we have a parent meeting to start the year. Now, like I said, if you've already started your meetings and haven't had a parent meeting, don't worry. You can always schedule one. It's never a bad time. But you definitely want to plan to do one. It sets the tone for your year, and trust me, things go so much smoother. Now, this is a time where you get to meet your girls and your parents, where you get to ask for helpers to help you for the year, and you get input. You get to meet the girls, get their input. So I have an example of a parent meeting on the next slide, but just please know that it's really important to do one. If you need help with it, that's okay. We can get somebody to help you. Our membership managers do those very often, so they're very well versed in that. Or somebody in your service unit is probably just as well versed. So we can get somebody to help you with it, but it is very important. I always ask troops, how many of you have had a parent meeting before your troop sells cookies? And everybody's hand usually goes up. And I ask, well, why do you do that? And the answer is because it's important, because you're dealing with a lot of money, because you want to make sure they understand what's going on. And those are all right. And so I say the same applies to start your Girl Scout year. It's the same concept, if not more important, because then they have an idea of what the troop is about, what Girl Scouts is about, and what's expected of them as parents. So on the following slide, it's really hard to read, I'm sorry, but it's in our new leader guide, and I can also email it to you all if you'd like it. It goes through items such as your welcome, your introduction, asking for the paperwork that you need, right? So like health history forms, registration forms, really neat things in here that I would not have thought of. Like, for example, let your parents know that you are not a staff member, that you are a volunteer. Simple things like that that to us seem obvious, they do not know. And you'd be surprised how many times they assume that you are paid staff. Other little things are letting them know that the troop belongs to the girls. The parents, the adult, the volunteers are here to help them, right? Letting them know that those $15 that they're paying do not stay with the troop. Those $15 go to the national organization, which support Girl Scouts nationwide, as well as help provide supplemental insurance whenever Girl Scouts meet. So the purpose of those $15 conveys a message to them, and then you'd be surprised how many times they're not aware of that. So they assume the money's staying with the troop when it is not. So all of those tips and tricks are in this parent guardian meeting agenda. Really crucial to have one. If you want this again, I can email it to you, or I can well, yeah, I can email it to you. Just let me know. That's not a problem. I'm sorry that it came out so hard to read and blurry. So any questions on number 4, which is preparing for your year and preparing for your, or I'm sorry, your parent meeting, to prepare for your parent meeting? There's no questions. I'll keep moving forward. I think we're at number 5. Yay. So number 5, as far as things to do to start your Girl Scout year off well, is to listen to your girls. So after all the paperwork and all the deadlines and all the trainings, I know, and we have to remember that we are here for the girls and that we are to be girl-led. We have to keep our eye on the prize, so to speak. And what that means, as when we say girl-led, is not that the girls are deciding everything, right? That would be a little chaotic. But what it does mean is that the girls should be involved in all the decisions of their troop. So including that calendar that we mentioned a little while ago, have a loose draft of that with you and your helpers, your volunteers, your co-leader, and then bring that to the girls and see what they think, what their feedback is. Involve them in the decisions. Make sure and be flexible. I mentioned that earlier, but it's very important. A lot of times we as adults have a great idea of what we want the girls to do for that year and what we want them to accomplish, what trips we want them to do, but is that what they really want to do? We have to remember to be flexible and sometimes kind of let go. I know that I have personally had to learn that lesson with my daughter, who is an ambassador Girl Scout now. So be flexible. And then, of course, take it easy on yourself. Sometimes we are the worst critics for ourselves. We hold ourselves to such high standards and we feel like we failed the girls if we don't get everything on our list done. Please be easy on yourself. It's about the journey, not the destination. It's about educating, not decorating. So I try to keep that in mind because we may have girls that want to earn a lot of badges or do a lot of things, but not every girl is necessarily like that. So don't feel like you have to check off every box for every girl, every meeting. Take it easy on yourself. And sometimes just knowing that the girls are discovering a little something new, connecting with each other, taking action, which are all the three keys to Girl Scouts, that is what we're here to do. So whether that is through a simple activity or a badge, doesn't really matter, but that's what we're here to do, is take them on that journey. You'd be surprised. I know I'm always surprised the things that the girls remember. So I remember we had an event and we planned all these intricate high-tech things for the girls to do, and we were so excited. And at the end of it all, what the girls enjoyed the most was just their quiet time where they could get to talk to each other. So just remember that it's always important, vital to listen to the girls, be flexible, and take it easy. Something I don't think we hear enough, right? So that concludes the 5 steps on how to start your Girl Scout year well. Now, like I said, we could add a lot more steps to this, but we wanted to make it so that it's not so cumbersome, not so daunting, easy, baby steps. I am here to answer any questions you guys have. Other than that, I am done with all the material, but be happy to take any questions that you have. Oh, you're welcome, Miss Victoria. Thank you. I'm glad to see you all on here. Oh, here's a question I have for you guys. Feel free and write in your question, but I have a question in case so that you can give me some feedback in the meantime. We're getting ready to schedule our OWLs sessions for the next year. And so we do a different topic every month. They're posted on our YouTube account once they're done. But I am looking for new topics to do. And they are not all done by me. So I will have people from like product sales, from our program department. I even had our business services director talk about the shop. So if there is somebody in our council that you would like to do a session or a topic that you would really like us to cover, I am taking all of those suggestions now. So feel free and let me know now, or email me, Facebook me, or get a hold of me in any way. Okay, so welcome, Miss Erin. I'm seeing your question. Oh, wow, I'm so excited to hear that, Miss Erin. So welcome to our council. I'm not sure what area you're in, but if you've already contacted your membership manager and let them know you're ready, okay, Hobbs, if you let them know that you're ready to be a new leader, they should be reaching out to you. And what I would recommend in the meantime is to integrate or to get involved with the service unit as much as possible. And from there, you'll meet a lot of other new leaders, existing leaders, have an idea of what's going on for the year. We're excited to have you. That's awesome. We always need more leaders. I'm writing your name down so I can also let your membership manager know. Her name is Stormy Gibbs, and I will email her that you reached out to me. Thank you so much. All right, so I have oh, that's a great one. So we have a suggestion to do an OWL session in the future on tips for multi-level troops. I am with you. So in fact, I think this is such a good topic that we are going to have a workshop on it at Volunteer Conference. If you have never been, Volunteer Conference is our annual adult getaway. That's what I like to call it. So it's an event we put on in September. This year it's September 9th through 11th at our Camp Miter Peak, which is near Fort Davis and Alpine, Texas. It's a weekend at our beautiful camp, and you get to take all of these workshops. You choose from different workshops. You get your t-shirt, you get your swag bag, you get to be with other volunteers just like yourself. You get to eat. So it's a lot of fun. It's my favorite thing to put on. We are heavy in the planning details now, but we will have a workshop on multi-level troops. So we have a workshop actually on each level, daisies through ambassadors. And then the last one is called help. I have a multi-level troop because we know a lot of you out there do. So this workshop will give you some tips and tricks on how to make it a worthwhile and quality experience for the girls as well as for the troop as a whole. So we will have that, and after we do that, we should have enough content material to put together an OWL session later on. So we can definitely do that. Thank you, Miss Nanette, for your comment. Okay, well, I could stay here all night and talk as much as you guys need me to, but I want to make sure and keep this brief. One of the great things about these OWL sessions is that they're brief and you can take them in the convenience of your home. So you're welcome, Miss Erin. No problem. Appreciate it. I hope to meet you soon. So unless you have any questions, I will be logging off. I'll wait a couple minutes. Feel free and log off if you are done so I can see who we have left. Good night.